Hi everyone, it's Cherie from Paper Pieces and Leftovers. I was asked to do this Franklin to help you guys. I'm not doing a voiceover because it's Saturday, so I'm just kind of letting everybody know the noise in the background is family. Hubby's home, daughter's home, and I have the door open, so that's probably why you'll hear some raking in the background. So with the Franklin, yes, this one definitely was put together a little differently. And you're gonna start by placing whichever color you decide to do the back portion of the boot in down first. And the reason I'm saying that is because I did struggle until I figured out the order that it went down as. And with these, the little, I don't know what that's called. Oh my goodness, why am I having a brain fart? The rounded part, there you go, is going to go up, and then the part that's got where it's rounded upwards, both of your rounding is going to go to the top. There you go. I don't know why I couldn't think there for a minute. This goes down before the pant legs do. I had dry pieced the first one a couple ways, and I just couldn't get it to lay right, and because when I did this file, I asked Marjorie Ann to make it so you guys didn't have to figure out how to destruct and reconstruct several files to get this look, because I actually did the Franklin and Franklin ugly sweaters 2 or 3 years ago. And not everybody's advanced with paper piecing, and we had to keep that in mind. So I went ahead and asked her to make the file, but because it's not 2 or 3 files put together, you can come in, baby. I'm just saying I'm recording and I don't want to do a voiceover, so because not everybody wants to have to tear apart 3 or 4 files to get what they're looking for. She made it into one for us. And that being said, it was getting familiar with it since it wasn't files that I have done before. It's a new file for us. And also for the little ugly sweater pieces, I went ahead and I'll show you my buckets here. I used foil on the ornament. And then I have clay candy canes, and I cut them in half so they'll lay flat. We use the mistletoe, and I used Nuvo drops for that. Let me grab them. Actually, I put them away and I didn't realize it. I don't know if some of these Nuvo drops are available, so I don't want anybody to say I can't find them. I've had some of my stuff for a long time, and things are forever changing, so you're not always going to find stuff. Just like the peach paper I showed you guys, that was actually showed as discontinued since 2018. And my design team admin from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop took it down to American Crafts and showed them, you know, one of my girls uses it, it exists, and they had it inventoried wrong, so it was never discontinued. This color is Winter Cranberry, and I love this on my Christmas pieces. It's just my preference, and you don't have to use anything I use. I'm just letting you know. Chunky glitter and glue for the bow. And then stocking, I did the felt paper. Velvet? Yeah, crushed velvet paper, not felt. And that's as far as I got on those. And the snowmen, I just did the Winkastella over his little snowman. And then the same thing, I did chunky glitter and glue for the bows, and the Nuvo drops for the wreath. And then I used the little half pearl accents from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop for her shoes. So you're going to put the gray part down first. That's the back of the boot, and then the pant leg. His paws get glued on. And then we'll do his sleeves and his ear pads and still work him the same way. It's his legs first, just like the regular Franklin, where it's the legs and then the feet. It's the same concept, except she did not omit the sleeves from the file, because normally we just glue the sleeves behind, or the arms behind Franklin, but she didn't do that with him, which is fine. We're just going to have to piece it a little bit differently, and I'm missing a paw, which is not good because I won't be able to finish him. So I may have to pause the video and cut it out if I can't find it. And I thought I had all my pieces, which is really, well, let's glue his ears down and we'll do the boot and I'll pause the video and cut it out real quick. I just don't know where it would have went. Probably on the floor. I had it all. You know, with the seasons changing in California, we don't really have the 4 seasonal changes. We have 2. The leaves grow on the trees and then the leaves fall. That's it. They don't change colors. They go from green to dead real quick. Christmas is coming. I hope everybody's getting their Christmas stuff in order. I'm not cooking this year. Hubby and I last year started, I cook for Thanksgiving, but we started doing tamales from a shop down the street. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And that's what we do for Christmas, along with sides and whatnot. But the tamales are their life. And we probably get 40 or 60 of them because we freeze whatever we don't eat. And then we defrost them for lunches. We need them or want them. But we do the green chili chicken, pork with red sauce, and then regular cheese. Because sometimes they give me heartburn. All right, let me see if I can find that paw. I had them all, and that's the part that just tickles me, is I really did have all my pieces when I started this video. And they disappear, and it's either if it's wet, I'm going to touch it, or if it's small, I'm going to lose it. And let's see, do I see anything on the floor? No. All right, well, it's not important. I'll cut it out here just momentarily because I can meld the videos together, and that's not a problem. Let's do his boots real quick, and then I'll pause the video to cut out the piece, or actually... So you're going to put the soles down first on the shoes. That's my Cricut. I apologize. Let's make sure I'm doing the right side. So my Franklin Bear is cut out in the color caramel by 12 by 12. All my paper is from 12 by 12 cardstock shop. My green is the color grass by American Crafts. His muzzle is the color straw, also American Crafts. This is American Crafts, the color blush. The pants are a discontinued color, and I'm down to like my last 3 or 4 sheets of it. So it was oceanic, but not the oceanic that you can buy. It's a discontinued one. So the next color that I do recommend getting is going to be the color Blue Jay by American Crafts. Let me pull out my swatch book. And it's, do I have it in here? Yeah. So I either use this color, which is Blue Jay, or I'll use, I think this one's Marine, this one. And it really depends on which tone that I want. I love Encore paper, and I'm slowly transitioning a lot of my paper over to Encore. So I want to say the closest in the Encore color that I'm probably going to use for jeans is that lapis or lapis? I don't know. Never heard of it. I love the way Encore cuts. It is more affordable than American Crafts, and it cuts a lot cleaner. I can actually cut super fine pieces out, and I don't have the edges that fray, because with American Crafts, I love the paper, and I usually don't worry about corners. There's always a way to fix it. What I do is I put glue on the tip of my finger, and then I dip my corner into it, and I pinch it. That way, then it sticks together. And yes, all the hand movements, us Italians, I tell you, we talk with our hands. So let's go ahead and, look, the hand. I don't have to cut it out after all. I knew that I had it. So what we're going to do with the boot is the indentation is going to be on the bottom, and the smooth part is going to be on the top. And here I thought I was going to have to pause the video to cut out a hand. I knew that I had it. So the green is American Crafts color grass. My red is going to be the color Pomegranate by Basil. It is my go-to for everything, and I know it's a different texture. It is not the basket weave texture. I think it's called the wave texture just because it only goes just the one way. Versus the basket weave, they crisscross. This one only goes from left to right or up to down, depending on which way you cut your paper. And I changed all my inks because I got a lot of questions that somebody else is using the Catherine Pooler, but it doesn't look like mine does. Catherine Pooler is definitely a very rich, vibrant ink. I don't recommend people new to inking, otherwise it ends up bleeding and being very dark. If you're new to inking, I recommend the Hero Arts Ombre inks. One, because you're going to get 3 colors on one palette, and I will pull them up here in just a minute for you guys to see, but I know somebody had asked why with all the people that stamp, Catherine Pooler is a big thing among stampers, and I actually have drawers full of stamps because I use a lot of stamps. And so that's why I use Catherine Pooler. If it's out, I use it on my inking, but you have to be very careful because it's not like your Stampin' Up! Inks or your Hero Arts inks. So these are my Hero Arts Ombre. I get them from Hobby Lobby when they're 40% off because I'd rather save a penny. That way I can spend more. And I have tons of them. This is, you see numbers on them just because I swatched them, and that way I know which cassette to pull out because some of them are very similar, and this one is darker than this one, so I will say, oh, it's number 7 instead of number 9. That way then I know which little cassette to pull out, and each one correlates number-wise here, but number 7 is a lot darker than number 9, and all of mine are just swatched, but I know them all now. That was when I was new, so I do recommend you guys swatching your inks. This, I'm going to cut out some little kids with chocolate and baking. It says, you bake me happy. Life is what you bake of it. My favorite recipe. Happiness is homemade. No one measures up to you. Happy Cake Day I used on the birthday card that I did. It will be going live on 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. I scrap lifted one. I believe it was from Babs, and she did it a long time ago. And I had remembered seeing it, and I had the mouse. I had the file forever. So I did something very similar to hers. Just to give you guys a visual that it is very easy to replicate what you see. And I would never sell it just because it isn't my original, design as far as the birthday card. So I'm probably going to give that one away on my page. So make sure you follow my Facebook because that's where everything goes. So after you get your soles on and then your boot, it's going to be the boot actual leg part. And then you can glue his shoes on. This is where we're going to reverse the indentations, so your swoop is going to be going down on both instead of up. And I mean, I don't think it really matters, honestly, which way you do it because the pattern fits either way. But I'm just guessing a couple of you guys struggled and you tried because I found out that I saw a lot of comments and messages. Hey, help, help. Yeah, I did the same thing and struggled with it at first, but this one has a lot of pieces. It is probably an intermediate to advanced file if you don't have somebody helping you put it together, and that's where I come in. So we're just going to line the little boot tops up with the base, and we're going to set that aside. I'm going to glue his other little hand on. So it's going to be the back part of your boot, and I believe it is gray in Cricut Design Space, and I just darkened it and cut it out in the same color as my sole, which is the color Graphite by American Crafts. And you'll put his pant legs on, and then I did the hands and the sleeves. And then we'll do the shirts and glue his boots on. It doesn't matter at what point you do your ears and ear pads, as long as the head goes on last, you can put them on first. And I hope everybody has a happy holiday. I know family is important, and sometimes we forget that in between work and other things we're doing. And hopefully you guys have a safe and happy new year. It's quiet here. We got our Christmas tree up on Thanksgiving, actually. My husband decided to pull it out while I was cooking Thanksgiving dinner, and my sciatica was full blast. I see the doctor to figure out if the bone spurs need to come out or not. And I know I had told you guys about those pills those doctors gave me. Oof. I took 2 doses, never touched them again. Forget it. I don't like dry mouth. Can't do it. So they're just set aside in case it flares up as bad as it was around Thanksgiving. But yeah, the tree got put up. And I have my little ornaments that I showed you guys that one of the followers made me. They have my grandparents on one, me and my husband's first Valentine's dinner date as a married couple on another. My dad, who's also passed away, with my daughter and me. So we'll do the hands, the sleeves, and then the cuffs. And it really doesn't matter what color you cut your pieces out in for Christmas. I'm going to cut out a set of Franny. I'm going to do one in light pink and one in light blue, just because I know not everybody uses solid colors. And even those that have a lot of white in their home, what is that, country chic? My daughter likes the look, I do too, but with 2 dogs that like to play outside and having a lot of dirt here in California, I'm not sure country chic white would stay white. It would probably turn gray and drive me nuts. So my couch is a solid dark gray. You can't tell that the dogs, if they drug anything in, have been on it, and I kind of like that. Plus hubby, after he gets off work, he does change as soon as he comes home, but still, it's there's some days that he'll sit down just because he's got to take a break, take his boots off because his feet are killing him, and he sits on the chase lounge. But it's the microfiber, so it's really easy to clean. But not everybody's Christmases are always red and green. I know that's the traditional color, but I've seen so many people post other pictures online of Christmas being different colors. I saw one tree that was black and purple, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And I think my husband's cousin posted it. She likes a lot of the goth stuff like my daughter, and the colors are really pretty. A little bit too dark for me, but I know that it's a thing, so we're going to glue his shirt on, and you're going to line, I'm getting the glue off the cuff. You're going to line the shirt up with the little groove right here between his legs and the corners here. And that's how you know how far down to go, because his neck piece is going to cover what would be a gap underneath his neck. And I've cut that out. And all I did was I cut out 2 bears and of the boys and 2 of the girls. And I swapped the sleeves out and the collar pieces out for the other files. So 1 red, 1 green, and I just swapped them. I didn't individually cut out this and this color and this color. I cut out 1 solid red, 1 solid green, and I just pulled my sleeves off and the neck piece and swapped them, and vice versa to the other one. And same thing for her. I just swapped the collars and the sleeves on, or the shirts on the girls, sorry. Looking at them, I had to re-gauge everything. I did the face beforehand, and just an FYI, I am going to show you guys how to do eyelashes in another video. It will go to 12 by 12 cardstock shop first. I'm going to show you the beginning method. When I started way back when, and then maybe in another video I'll show you guys some of my older pieces, I used to draw them on with pencil, and I'll show you how to put them on with the pencil, and then what to use to erase after you trace. That way you don't leave any residue of the pencil, and also you don't erase any of the lashes. So if you didn't put your ears and your ear pads on before, you can do it now, and then you glue down his head, and then you pick whatever ornament you want to go on him. It's up to you. I might put that ugly ornament or the stocking, I don't know. They're so cute, even though they're called ugly sweaters. And that's what I was saying when I was posting them. They're adorable, even though they're supposed to be ugly. I mean, I do have to cut down that blush on that one side of the cheek though. It's a little too bright for my liking. I would never use like a magenta or anything, and that's what it reminds me of. I think I didn't clean my tool well enough, and so it was just a little bright. So I use this, and you'll see a lot of the girls in other videos using it. It's Imagine brush sticks. The reason I use this on my cheeks is because it gets into all of the grooves of textured paper. Don't worry about this if you don't use textured paper. You can just get away with a pom-pom. And I do use the back of some of my peach for my faces because peach was so hard to find. We were using shrimp, which is really bright, but that's no longer a problem. I ordered 10 packs of the peach paper. I'm just over the moon that it's findable again. But the brush sticks, this, back in my live video in August on my Facebook, I have all the links in the comments if you need these, if they're still available. I got them off of Amazon, but I know a couple of the craft stores online have them. They are a little costly. I originally got them from Joann's when my husband went for some Cricut stuff because he does shirts for people, and that's what he's doing now. So that's what the heat press you heard was. And I seen them and I was like, what can I use these for? And once I pulled it out of the pack when I got home, I loved the texture, and that's how I played around with it with some chalks, and I think we're gonna go with the red ornament. Yeah. This gets in all the grooves so you don't see any of the brown behind the texture. And that was my method to madness of using this. And you'll see a lot of people using these, but I don't know what they used prior, but I see that they fell in love with my tools. And this, I didn't know anything about this, and you will need this for your eyelashes. So Connie, I saw use these in her video, and I asked her, what is that? Because I'd never seen such a precision eraser before. And this is the Tombow Mono Zero, Tombow, Mono Zero, Amazon. It's because it's a white eraser. You could use any white eraser that you want, but for erasing your pencil marks, if you're gonna practice eyelashes, you're going to want to definitely have a white eraser. Do I want to tip it sideways? Nah, we'll go straight up and down. Yeah. And this I just used foil wrap on, and then I went ahead and put the sealer over it so it doesn't flake off over time. It does have a sealer, and I did that in one of my videos I showed you guys. I'm real big on foil just because I like the reflection. That is just gold cardstock. And after the video, what I do is I trim down the brown because her base is a little bit wider than the pant leg, and I played with them, and I just snip it off so you can't see it and it's gone. And that's how I shrink my bases when they show from the back. But you'll need the color Blush, Caramel, and Straw, all American Crafts from 12 by 12 cardstock shop. The color Grass, Graphite, and then those are both American Crafts. This red is Pomegranate by Basil. My ornament, the foil is actually on smooth white cardstock because I use smooth cardstock for my white and black on the eyes. So I have a smooth base to work with. So I used the same white cardstock that was smooth. You can see my brush strokes and I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna fuss. And then just some gold paper. I don't go around the edges with my gold just because there's no need for it unless it's a big piece. And the only time I go around the white core paper work is if it's a big piece, because then you can actually see the white where it cut. And that's where my Sharpies come into play. I don't go around the edges of my pieces with a pom-pom or a finger dauber. And let me show you why. And I'm just trying to address all the questions. I think I got rid of it actually, but so this I've had probably for 6 months to a year, and I use brown all the time. These last forever if you hold them at about 45 degrees. If you ink or go around the edge of any of your pieces, it tears these up. And they're not expensive. That's not my point. I just don't like having to go to the store to replace my stuff. Especially because I have so much ink product in this that it's a waste of ink for me to rip these off and throw them out. And also, I have one for every color you can imagine. This one I replaced because it had just finally given up and tore apart. But each time you rip it off, it doesn't hold its Velcro. And so those are just my base colors, my skin tone, my muzzle, my Franklin Bear, and then my ears, because those are my go-to all the time. The reason I use finger daubers is because they are a lot more inexpensive to replace. I get them from Temu. I used to get them from Amazon, but Temu is more affordable. I have 12 of these, and I love all of them. Each one has its own color, and I was asked, how do I know what color is what? I'll show you now. Here you go. I write on it. They're not all the same direction, so don't kick me, I promise. It's just there. I write on them. This one goes straight, go figure. It's whichever way I grab it. Now the black ones, I know, I'm getting there. What happens if I have black ones? How am I gonna see? Silver Sharpies, best friend in the world, or the rose gold, or even the gold. I don't worry about how clean the writing is. This is my writing. That's why you saw my Santa's naughty list. I wrote it because, yes, I have nice writing. My mother, if she couldn't read our homework, she would throw it away. She would not let us copy the answers. So probably why I graduated at 15. She would make us reread everything, re-get the answers, and rewrite it all. And it didn't matter. If she still couldn't read it, we'd rewrite some of our stuff 10 times until we learned our lesson. And I just write on my finger daubers. That way then each color I know, and I know what colors I use. Now, if you're new to inking, I showed you the Ombre by Hero Arts. If you're a little bit more comfortable with inking, Lawn Fawn and Simon Says Stamp and Tim Holtz. Don't waste your money on the big ones. The refills and the small ones, they're gonna last you forever. I wasted so much money on my big ink pads, even my Tim Holtz. And our finger daubers fit perfectly in this. So don't waste your money on big ink pads. Stick to the small ones, because you're wasting money spending, you know, anywhere from $5 to $10 for a big one when you can get the small one for $2 to $5, depending on how many ordered, the coupons, the sales, whatnot. And then the refills. I would rather buy 2 refills in a small ink pad than a large ink pad and 1 refill, and that's just cost-wise. And these are the pearls that I used for Franny, and they are from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. I think I have 12 different cassettes of different colors. And the reason I like these instead of from Amazon or Temu is they have a really pretty, shiny, reflective, iridescent top to them. But I had just gotten a lot of messages asking about, you want to start buying inks, and is Catherine Pooler the way to go? No. It will bleed if you do not know what you're doing. It's very saturated. And there's a way to ink with them, and it's taken me a long time to figure that out. But I still have to be very cautious. And it's normally, I'm inking with pieces that I've already stamped with. I don't re-dip it into my inks because it's going to bleed and end up being a big mess and just look too dark, too saturated, and almost like you took a marker and let it bleed and went around it. So be careful with Catherine Pooler. And that's why I wanted to really emphasize with you guys Memento, Versa Magic, and these are my best friend. I love my Hero Arts Ombre inks. And they're also fade resistant. There is a big thing, if you go on Catherine Pooler, it says that her inks do fade over time. And that's why I don't always go to Catherine Pooler. I've learned which ones fade more than others because, like I said, I've been using inks for years now. And as you guys know, 2-3 years ago when I started my videos, I've been using Catherine Pooler and Tim Holtz. But the past year, I've been using My Hero Arts because it's not as, it's very vibrant in the color, but it's not wet and saturated with ink where it's going to bleed and ruin your pieces. And I think that's it, guys. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Have a happy holiday. And I did this because I got multiple messages. How do I put Franklin together? And I know you guys were struggling because there are a lot of pieces to him and there wasn't really any... It is a jigsaw, playing Tetris with pieces. I still have to, you know, add his little details, his little highlights and whatnot. The other thing I was asked is, yes, I use Pan Pastel around my eyes with the tool that you guys saw me make popular. I was told that they are where the, if you go to Hobby Lobby, they are where the cars that you put together are. I guess they're for glue for the cars. I forgot what she told me they're called, but the little cars that, model cars, they're actually for model cars, and that's the department they're in Hobby Lobby. But the link is also on my Facebook in my live from August. They are false eyelash glue applicators on Amazon, and the link is in the comments. And I just go around my eyes. Pan Pastel Titanium White for all of my chalking, for the majority. Otherwise, I use my Stampin' Up. I have tons of retired, I showed you guys that in one of my videos. I have a bunch of retired cassettes of Stampin' Up. I sent a couple to one of the girls that follows me in Canada because she just couldn't get anything and I felt really bad for her. So she paid the shipping and I just shipped them to her along with the wet chalks. But these are my other go-tos for the white because this is very, very rich in color and I don't always want everything looking like my piece got in a fight with flour. So I go to my Stampin' Up palette just because my chalks, this is a new one because my other ones are in little pieces behind my computer here. And as I need them, I take them. And this actually isn't even Stampin' Up. This came from something else and I just put it in there to hold it because my little cassettes are all full at the moment and I have tons of them. Actually, I just emptied one of my white ones out because it broke and I packed it down, but this was my white. And I just have these, tons of them. And I don't think, oh, and the other thing that I had mentioned in my video that I would show you if I could find it, and I did find it right after I got off my video, which was funny. So I was telling you guys about the magnetic glass mat at Hobby Lobby, and we are memory keepers. I have to clean it because I used it for my Nuvo drops. So I just have to put the glass cleaner I showed you guys that I broke the top off when I dropped it after my video. This stuff is ammonia free and it does not take the finish off of anything, not your eyeglasses, not the glass you work on. Target. They said you could get it online also, and I'm sure you can. I get it from Target just because we go to Target all the time. Speaking of which, I think I need to make my Target payment. We have a Target card because you save 5% on every purchase. But these are magnet and they hold your pieces down. So I've been using these for a lot of my bases of smaller pieces as I glue because then my piece isn't going all over the glass. And if you guys are asking what this is, I Sookwing that, yeah, let me find Gina K. Let's use hers. It's called Thermoweb Masking Magic. When I do pieces for glitter or my Nuvo drops, anything wet, my glue with glitter, what I do is I put it down, and this I got it on sale, and it was $10, and it's We Are Memory Keepers, so you can't go wrong. Generally what I do with this, because I only fold up a piece at a time and it's masking tape, masking magic tape, I will put a little piece onto the corner here, like so, and I will go around it, and then I set this aside to dry. And that's why I use this, is because I can get it out of the way, because I've said in many of my videos, if it's wet, I'm going to touch it. and it ends up all over everything else that it doesn't need to be. After it dries, this here, it's really magnetized down. It comes off, but it stays down while you're working on it, and that's a huge thing. So it comes right off. It does not ruin the backing, and it's gonna be your best friend. This is actually for fussy cutting stamps. I have Lawn Fawn stamps, tons. My husband lets me get them all the time, or he even picks them up for me, especially the sentiment ones. You know, if he sees it in the cart, he'll just go ahead and check out and let me have it. So let's say you are gonna do a card. How do I, oh, here's a piece from, I have a couple cards coming to 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop, you guys. I just had to be careful not to show it. But it's up there, I just realized it. But this is a piece, I didn't like the color after all, so I changed it. So you wanna do the background of your stamp. Don't touch the metal. So what I would do is I would stamp my little mouse down, and then I stamp this with the same ink with the mouse. I fussy cut it, peel it off, stamp and put it over my mouse, and then I could do the background with my brushes. And that's how those people get those backgrounds, with the mouse being white when you're finished and you color them gray or purple, whatever color you choose, and the background's green and blue and pink and purple, and it's a beautiful sunset and looks like cotton candy and Willy Wonka, but the mouse is still white. It's because they use masking magic tape. I just found this knockoff on Amazon. This is probably the better one. So definitely it's Gina K Designs Thermoweb Masking Magic. Scrapbook.com. I know that, just put it in your search web of Google and click shopping. This is a lifesaver in so many ways, for my stamping, for my inking anything with, not inking, but adding anything wet, because it'll hold the piece down. Because if you notice when you do it, your pieces curl when they get wet. This stops it. And depending on how wet you're gonna make it, I don't want to do a whole face. If you're going to saturate your piece, then you definitely want to then put the whole piece here to hold it down. And then once you're done, you're going to bend it and it peels off. And that's it. Any questions, let me know. But I just wanted to get the Franklin video together, and then a couple questions answered for you guys, and then that magic mat that I'm showing you guys from We Are Memory Keepers. I think it's 6 by 8. If I'm not mistaken. Almost, no, it's 5.5 by 8. And it has become my best friend. It holds everything I need down, lets me work, but then also get it out of the way for it to dry if it's wet. But I also use it for my pieces when I have a ton of little pieces, because sometimes when we're gluing and we're so involved in the piece mentally, we end up scooting it. And these, you can use any magnets. I pulled the other magnets off of my Misty. Yes, I have all 3 of them. My husband loves me most of the time, if I don't annoy him too bad. This is the big one. I use the magnets off of this one on here, and then my smaller, both of my smaller Misties, I've used the magnets on it. It just depends on how strong of a hold I need. But I was using my Misty the other day, the bigger one, so I don't have any magnets on this. And this is a to and please deliver to address stamp that I got from somebody on Etsy. But it really does not matter which magnets you use on this. You'll end up loving this piece right here. But have a happy holiday if I do not post anything. I'm trying, because I'm still in the middle of working other videos. I should have another video up soon. It is using all of the Encore paper. And it's only because I didn't post it to 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop because I had surgery. And now it's kind of, I don't know if she wants it. So I'm going to check with her. If she doesn't want it, I'll upload it here. And I'll also do another video of the next pieces I'm working on. That way anybody else that wants to do them, I just have to finish cutting them out once I finish all the Franklin and Franny's, because I have a huge order. I think I have to do 26 of them. Most of them are cut out. I just haven't gotten around to it. Oh, the last thing I got asked, what do I use for my bow? I use stickles and chunky glitter. I just add chunky glitter to the stickles. And the other thing I use is glue and chunky glitter. So it really just depends on what I grab, but you can also use Nuvo drops, the clear ones. It is called Morning Dew. It dries clear, and you add your chunky glitter to it. And if you just put in chunky glitter on Amazon, you will have hundreds of options, colors, sizes, shapes. It is definitely fun to play with glitter. I do use a lot of glitter on my noses, but I use the micro glitter. It's microfine glitter. So when you guys see my noses, it's because I used microfine glitter. Let me see if I can hide the card that I did for the video and show you the nose just as a reminder. I have to hide stuff from you guys. Shame on me, shame on me. All right, you guys can't see the piece. So it's coming up on 12 by 12 cardstock shop. That's why I can't show you guys yet. But when I do that, that is glue with microfine glitter. And I've showed you guys the bottles in other videos, but I can show you again. Amazon has it. I have, I think 60 or 70 bottles, all different colors, but these are my favorites. This one's mostly my favorite during winter because gingerbread, reindeer, even Franklin, if I'm gonna do the nose, because of the red and green hint and hues to the gold. And then these are my other two favorite. And I fill them up as I go now that I've just poured glitter all over my desk. Yes, thank you guys. If you need any help with any other videos and you're getting stuck, let me know. I don't mind doing a video, especially if it's something I'm going to work on, I have plans of working on, or I'm already working on. And have a good day, guys.